Now let us welcome our platinum partner for the event, Mr. Rajib Maitra from Deloitte. He will talk about transforming Beyond Core ERP in metals and mining Beyond Core ERP. Welcoming Mr. Rajib Maitra.
So a very good afternoon to all of you, and just an introduction, I'm Rajib, I'm a partner with Deloitte, and very happy to be here. I mean, this is a very important session that we are having, and what I'm going to talk about, and of course, people have spoken about the solutioning aspect, but I will more talk from the business perspective. What are some of the trends we are seeing in the global and Indian mining and metal sector, and what it translates into technology requirements. So that's going to be my focus over the next 15 to 20 minutes, right? So before I start, quick one short video. We actually publish annually tracking the trends, which tracks what is happening in the global mining and metal sector. So this year, again we published, it came out in the month of February, and it talks about 10 trends. We talk about 10 trends, and we'll just show the video first before go to the presentation.
Today's world is complex, and the pressures and levels of uncertainty we must navigate are challenging. For many mining and metals organisations, profitability, sustainability and relevance may hinge on their ability to adapt. To effectively guide these organisations during this time of change, leaders also need to evolve. From being an intrinsic part of the energy transition to drawing on new technologies such as Gen AI. Those leaders who see these important turning points as opportunities have the potential to become stewards of progress. And while today's challenges may be complex, mining and metals companies have the ability to help equip the businesses, innovators and suppliers of the future to champion whatever tomorrow brings together.
So this video talked about what are the trends that are happening in the global industry. So some of the keywords probably you could figure out is, one is of course, we are looking at energy transition. This is a big theme across the world, and that's why critical minerals is getting so much of traction. Even, if I look at Trump and Zelensky, one of the key point of discussion and debate is the access to the rare earth mines in Ukraine. The second aspect is around use of technology, how technology is evolving. And of course, technology and sustainability go hand in hand. And last is, of course, collaboration. It spoke about collaboration, innovation, and collaboration with your suppliers, customers, and so on. So these are the trends. And if you see the trends, clearly, I think there are two dimensions to the trend. One is, of course, sustainability. Out of the 10 top trends, 2 of them is talking about sustainability. One is how do we progress to a net zero, and how do we make ESG strategies more validated, how it drives purpose and as well as growth. The second aspect is around how do we use technology. One is, of course, people are talking about smart operations mining, and of course, we are doing a lot of innovation and technology innovation in the metals and the steel space. But also, they're talking about, can I look beyond my core? And that's one of the aspects I'll be talking about, that beyond core ERP, what are the other systems and solutions that are going to get traction over the next few years? We are also seeing a lot of focus on AI. We're seeing a focus on, in terms of looking at Gen AI, and now agentic AI. My previous speaker spoke about agentic AI, right? So these are the trends that are globally there. Now, if I come into the Indian trends, I think I'll take a little bit in detail. So there are 6 trends what we are seeing in the Indian context. So of course, the first trend, every mining and metals player they're grappling with is with raw material security and supply chain resilience. So we are seeing a lot of traction in the critical mineral space. The government has come out with a policy where they have launched a 34,400 crore fund, which is for NCMM, National Critical Minerals Mission. There's a lot of funds being given for exploration, not only in aspects like iron ore and coal, but also in these new age minerals. And of course, we are looking at companies going to foreign acquisition of assets, be it PSUs as well as private sector. So what it demands is, if I look at new assets, especially in foreign geographies, how am I going to explore? So the mining, the mineral exploration aspect, and which SAP has also, I would say, separate modules, how that is brought into my core operations is important. The other aspect is, how do I have mine planning integrated? So I kind of interact or integrate with the third-party softwares in terms of mine planning aspects. The second trend we are seeing is around sustainability and ESG imperatives. So government has come out with the green steel taxonomy. So now what is happening is, the Indian norm is 2.4 tons of carbon dioxide per ton of crude steel is the norm for anything below that is green steel. And all the steel companies, they are gearing up for the CBAM imperatives, which is 2026. So how do we becoming more agile? How do I capture as well as baseline my GHG emissions? How do I decarbonize my entire value chain? That is becoming more and more important. And of course, the opportunities are around sustainability control tower in terms of how do I become more compliant in ESG, the entire circular economy, as well as my product footprint management in terms of carbon footprint. Third is, of course, digital and AI. People spoke about that, how do I use more AI? How do I use remote operation center? How do I manage my multi-site operations from a central location? We are seeing globally that's happening, but it's also happening in India. We are seeing in the mining and metals companies, they are managing their core operations across centers in one site. But also, one of the aspects that is very important and coming up is asset management. So since we are investing in so much of assets, how do I make the assets work? How do I have the uptime? How do I maintain the assets is going to be very important, and people are spending a lot of money and time in that. And thereby, I think the demand for BTP and other asset management solutions in SAP are going to go up. The fourth aspect is customer excellence. So this is a very interesting aspect. We were speaking with one of the steel players. They're saying, so far, our focus has been on B2B primarily. But I want to now go into B2B to C, which is basically reach out to my customers, especially with the shift in the sales channels. We have more e-commerce. The player was saying that, can I think about without the dealer network? I have a CNFA and I supply direct to my customers. I am closer to my customers and so on. So the entire model, the network of customer management is going to change. And of course, how do I become more responsive in terms of end-to-end tracking of orders, on-demand delivery, and so on. So customer experience, CRM and Service Cloud is going to be very important and focus area for customers, and we are already seeing that happening. There are other two aspects around policy and regulations. There are a lot of policy changes which have happened, especially in the mining sector in the last couple of years, and that has led to greater use of MRP, purchasing, procurement, because we are also looking at people procuring from outside because we have a zero duty on imports of critical minerals. Now people are saying, why do I actually think about mining in India? I can take it from any other country abroad. So how do I do optimization of procurement is going to be important. The PS module of expansion projects, since I'm investing in a lot of projects and CapEx expansion, so the project system module is important. Last is, of course, not the least, around workflows and safety management. So, how do I have more simulation modeling? How do I have people using AR, VR? How do I upskill them? So, these are some of the EHS, LMS, workforce management. These are going to be more prevalent going forward. So that's some of the trends we are seeing. And just to capture these in one slide, beyond core ERP, which already, all the metals and mining companies, they are focusing on, the core ERP. But beyond that, I think there are four elements that are going to be important going forward. One is the customer excellence, the CX platforms, because tomorrow, the customers, you are not only catering to the customers through the physical channels, but also the digital channels. So how do I have more digital involved? Second is sustainability. Third is asset management, and fourth is AI. So this is talking about the core ERP. I'll not go into details. You're all aware of some of the modules. It caters to various industries, and the modules involve finance, supply chain, customer sales ops, and of course analytics and BTP. But more importantly, this talks about a case study that recently we are in the process of completing this project. We are doing a project at ArcelorMittal Mining Liberia. So the entire concept was, the objective was to implement S/4HANA on private cloud to streamline the operations, to optimize processes, and they want to have a pit-to-port, I would say, visibility across the supply chain in terms of better connected mines. They are a 20 million ton mine, and they want to understand how the customers are being served and so on. So we did the implementation, and what the impact it has created is better planning. They are having a better budget planning capabilities, better insights in terms of actual costs, as well as the product costing and product movement across the pit-to-port operations, visibility, reliability, governance, sustainability, goal tracking, as well as user experience. So this was one case we did recently at ArcelorMittal Library, and we are on the verge of completing this project. This is again another case study for steel, where we had done a greenfield implementation at Crest and Topford Steel. The objective was to make business processes uniform. There were two entities, Crest Steel and Power and Topford Steel, and they wanted to harmonize the processes, and in terms of the best practices, they want to integrate the operations like SCADA integration and dispatch planner and so on. So that was the objective, and we did the implementation across modules like FICO, SD, PPQM, PM, and various others. And the impact we have created is in terms of the uniformity of business process operations that have been established, streamlined operations, because one of the issues that the client was facing was around rake management and dispatch planner. So that was kind of addressed. Product costing issues, the management dashboards, and so on. So this was again, I would say, a core ERP implementation we did at a mining and metals player recently. But moving to more the aspects that I spoke about, which are going to be more prevalent going forward. One is the customer excellence. SAP has excellent sub-modules, which is the account and contract management. It has a lot of aspects, covers lead management, quote and order management, and so on. And key benefits that customers have got is the efficiency, the integration, as well as SFA utilization. So SFA, Salesforce automation is also becoming a lot prevalent in the sector. And this is a case study we have done recently at a manufacturer based out of Mumbai. They wanted to improve the customer experience. We kind of did the entire thing on SAP. And it had fantastic results in terms of comprehensive 360-degree view of the customers, including the interactions we captured. Then, of course, we had looked at efficiently managing products, customers, and order flow, and so on and so forth. And on the right-hand side, if you see, these are some of the, I would say, we have more than 70 people team, which focuses on SAP C4 practitioners, and we are working with multiple players. This doesn't include only mining and metals, but also other sectors. The next module that are going to be more important for customers is the sustainability module, which talks about incident management, health and safety, environment, maintenance safety, product compliance, and so on. And of course, with various ESG imperatives coming, all the listed players today, the investors, they are looking at declaring their whatever incidents that are happening, their environment, carbon footprint. They're all insisting on that. And tomorrow, the entire funding, the entire the equity will be determined by how efficient or how I would say you are from a net zero perspective. So that is going to be important, and all these benefits like health, environment, EHS, reduced risk of incidents, and as well as customers' organization reputation is going to be important. So these are all modules that are captured in the sustainability, and these are some of the, I would say, modules we have implemented across clients. It talks about various projects across sectors, be it in the petrochemical industry, chemical. We are also doing a lot of ongoing implementation at Deloitte. And last is, of course, I think very importantly is in terms of SAP Joule. It was mentioned by my previous speakers that Gen AI as well as agentic AI are going to be very much prevalent from an industry standpoint, in metals and mining. And SAP Joule has excellent offerings from sales management to sales order monitoring, and of course, project assist, transportation management, which actually helping various clients in terms of productivity improvement. Then you are actually having access to data, real-time data analysis, and of course, any kind of assistance the platform is providing. So I think just to summarize what I said is, so far the industry has focused more on the core ERP, but going forward, all these elements including asset management, AI, customer excellence, sustainability, these are going to be more and more important for the sector because the priorities of the sector are changing. I think it was nicely put by my previous speaker that the questions remain the same, but the scenarios change. Today the scenario is changing in terms of what we are seeing globally or in India. And I think we can look at all these different elements of SAP beyond ERP. And Deloitte has the capability to implement all of this because we have been doing this for ages, and excellent team we have, and we have done for multiple clients. So thank you for listening to me. I think I just wanted to capture some of the priorities for the sector, and hope I could capture some of these aspects correctly. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Rajiv ji, for an engaging session. We are moving on to our next session now.